everyone. I'm Dr. Rachel Goldenberg. I am a voice teacher, singing teacher, and speech arts teacher in Calgary, Canada. In the past few weeks, I have received several requests to talk about how to communicate effectively while wearing a mask. Several of my students are working in restaurants or they are teachers, and they are now having to cover their faces while they're in the workplace, and they are finding that their voices are fatiguing quickly, more so than they had in the past. And they have come to me for some advice about how to slow that down. In today's video, I'm going to talk about ways to reduce vocal fatigue and reasons why you might be experiencing fatigue while wearing a mask. If you are experiencing extreme fatigue or hoarseness that has gone on for a very long time, I highly recommend that you seek out an evaluation from either a speech-language pathologist or a laryngologist in your area. If that service is not available to you, please do try to consult with a voice teacher who is credible. They will be able to point you in the right direction. Let's get on with the video. When we wear masks, we lose a lot of the information that we are used to being able to communicate with our audience or our partners. When I put this on, all that you can see now is my upper face, and you lose all the information that comes from being able to lip read. This can be confusing for your listener, and it's understanding why your temptation will be then to increase your volume, because chances are the person on the other end is looking at you without the same expression that they normally do, an expression of interest or understanding. They might be looking at you to clarify. So I encourage you to think, rather than speaking more loudly, let's find ways that we can speak more clearly. First of all, understand that you do not have to speak more loudly to be understood. So pretend you have a volume dial just like you do on your radio and turn it down. You'll be a lot happier for this, because one of the fastest ways to tire out your voice is to speak loudly. One of the easiest ways to speak more clearly is to slow down your speech. Do slow down as much as you can while trying to maintain your regular volume. In a previous video, I talked about some strategies that you can use to speak more clearly while covering your face. I'll link to that in the comments section so that you can find that video. One of the best ways to learn to speak at a normal volume is to notice how it feels to speak at a normal volume. I recommend that you practice reading a passage or even saying things that you normally say. For example, if I were a server, I might say, "Hello, I'm Rachel. I'll be your server today. May I take your order?" And then put my mask on and trying to maintain the same amount of volume, say the same thing. "Hello, I'm Rachel. It's nice to meet you. I'll be your server today. May I take your order?" This may seem awkward at first, but with time and practice, things will get easier and normalize for you. My next tip is to take vocal naps. If you're anything like me and you love to talk, it's easy to spend all day talking. But like anything else in our body, if we overdo it and we do a lot of something, we will get tired. And voice is something that we tend to take for granted until we don't have it at our disposal anymore. Pretend your voice use is like having $100. Now, I love to shop, and I could go to Lululemon and purchase maybe a pair of pants with that $100. Or I could go to another store like H&M or Old Navy, and I could probably buy a whole new wardrobe for $100 if I spent my money correctly. My point is, it's easy to spend your money fast if you're not careful. If it's necessary to buy the Lululemon pants, by all means, do so. But that is your budget. You will have no more money. You have to think about how you can best use your voice. If I have to go to work and I require my voice, then I'll probably use my voice less throughout the day. As a singer, when I have a performance, I tend to save my voice for that performance, and I don't talk during the day, or at least as little as I can get away with. When you are at work, you might consider taking a vocal break or a vocal nap. When you're on your break, perhaps you can be quiet and rest your voice. This can be quite helpful to people. My next tip will seem rather simple, but it can make a lot of difference for a lot of people, and that is to stay hydrated. The vocal folds have a mucus bath on them that acts like a lubricant, and when this lubricant dries out, then it becomes very difficult for them to vibrate efficiently, and we have to work harder. Hydration comes in two forms, internal and external. Internal hydration is simple. Drink your water. External hydration is more environmental. For example, you might consider having a humidifier by your bed at night. Not only is it good for your voice, it's good for your skin. My last tips involve a more functional approach, and that is to make sure that you warm up your voice before you have to use it, reset it while you are using it, and cool it down when you are done. And I have videos that will take you through a warm-up, a reset, and a cool down. So you can have a look at all of those and join me in my warm-ups and my exercises. I hope you found these tips useful. I hope that they are able to make your life a little bit easier when we are dealing with so much. For more information, you can visit my website, www.rachelbgoldenberg.com. I have links to many other resources for you and links to my other videos. Thank you for watching. Ciao for now.